Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage is MIKEKINGBIZ, the voice of RVA business media. At MIKEKINGBIZ, we celebrate the idea that business makes society better. On behalf of the whole MIKEKINGBIZ ecosystem, we say a big thank you.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? The Chesterfield County Chamber of Commerce is your catalyst for growth. We empower our vibrant community through advocacy, leadership education, and over 150 annual opportunities to showcase your brand to more than 800 local businesses. From our signature monthly luncheons every second Wednesday, to our lively chamber nights out and our targeted connections groups, we provide the networking and resources you need to succeed. Join the Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce for a successful Chesterfield County. Visit chesterfieldchamber.com today and grow with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike King back and my good friend Karen Webb. You just heard her. That's who she is. That's what she does. The world famous Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce. You see us up there. We got her name in, well, not her name in lights. We had her name in lights last week, but now it's talking about the power of the Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce. Welcome back, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good to be here.
It is always a great time to see you. Tell folks who you are, what you do.
Yeah, I'm Karen Webb. I'm the president and CEO for the Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce. And the Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce is a business membership organization where we do a lot of networking, we do a lot of resource providing, we do a lot of business education, and we do a lot of building that community within the business community, so the business community has support, it has resources, it has backings, and it has a place to go if they just need to shout.
And a lot of times big organizations have that.
Right.
Smaller ones do not.
They don't. They're not built in like a big organization is.
So coming up in a couple of weeks, we're going to have one of the big things, which is the monthly chamber luncheon. Mm-hmm. And that is something that happens. It's awesome and amazing because at first you walk in, there's a lot of people, a couple hundred people there. It seems overwhelming. But it doesn't stay that way long.
No, it doesn't.
You will find somebody there, no matter what position you are in. There's somebody who's in that similar one, or a little further down the road, who can say, when I was in that position, this is what I did.
Right. You know, and as you say, you walk in and the first thing you see is a crowd of people. But I can guarantee you, if you walk into that crowd, somebody is already speaking to you, getting to know you, getting your name, and you then, from that point on, never realize you've got a couple hundred people standing around you.
That is true. Right, so that is June the 10th?
10th, yes.
Get your tickets. Don't want to show up like some people running up with your money in your hand. You know, it's cool, but that does not help you with logistics of like the lunch part.
I was getting ready to say, you might not get that.
Exactly. You can come there, but but that's the idea of it. You're in a place where you get to know people. It is a resource center. It is the ultimate, somebody.
Right.
There is that is that factor of knowing people. And ma'am, another thing you guys are launching, made some changes to, was Leadership Chesterfield.
Yes, we have. We hold Leadership Chesterfield once every year and a half, depending on what we're competing against with other programs. And this year's will start the end of September and run once a month, then through the end of April. And what we're trying to do is to continue to elevate the level of leadership exposure you have when you finish and complete that program. And we're talking 25 people in a room, so it's a large enough room to be exposed to all kinds of leadership and all kinds of businesses, but at the same time, it's a small enough group that there's an intimacy there that you can actually learn from each other. And that, to me, is very important when we're talking leadership development. And we're going everywhere, from every point of the beginning of your leadership, which is leading yourself and learning how to survive and contribute to any type of leadership environment. And you and I both know leadership starts anywhere. Everything you do, even in your personal life, there's leadership involved in it. And whether it be leadership of yourself, whether it be leadership of a team, leadership of others, or leadership corporately, they're all different types of leadership skills that go into every level. So we will be focusing on each and every level for an entire, we meet in the morning from 9 until 1, which includes lunch. And our dear friends at Bon Secours St. Francis sponsor this event for us. We hold the entire event at their facility. Their catering department does all of our coffees in the morning and our lunches for us, and they just are a huge supporter and contributor to us.
So give a shout out to our good friend, Mr. Joe Wilkins.
Absolutely.
Who is there making that happen. And what that does, so that's one of the things I always talk about, big organizations helping smaller ones, individuals get the talent and expertise and experience that they need.
Right, absolutely.
So you've been to a leadership program or two.
Yes.
You've been a bunch of them.
Bunch of them.
Yeah, a bunch of them. But I'm just saying, I went to shout out to Leadership York, Pennsylvania, the class of 2000.
Here we go. And have you noticed that every single, especially metro area, like our Leadership Metro Richmond here, every class is convinced that they're the best.
It's the best for them.
And that's one of the, the amazing things about participation in one of these programs is not only do you come out with skills, but you also have put them into practice already. And by the time you get out and you were part of the best, that's exactly the attitude we want people to come out with, so that they are giving that to other people, and there's a leadership comfort and a leadership consistency in the business world.
But most people have been to one.
You're right.
So that's the one that they know.
Correct. Well, that's correct. Yes.
You're taking the best of multiple ones and taking, you're cherry picking the best that you had seen at this one, this one, and this one.
Absolutely.
And putting that together.
Right. And there is a committee of us that have all been part of leadership programs in the past. Some of them Leadership Chesterfield, some of them LMR, some of them all over the world kind of leadership programs. And the combination of all of that and our interpretations of what that leadership skill or that leadership level looks like is fascinating and makes it a rich and robust curriculum.
Mike King here, my good friend Karen Webb. Oh, by the way, she is one of the Mikey Award winners. She is an architect of impact. I didn't come up with that one.
I like that title, though.
I did. You know what? Shout out to technology.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, man, as long as the robots are not taking over the world. But we wanted to honor you for the work that you do in the community.
Thank you.
So, folks, make sure if you get there's still time left. If you want to join us at the 2026, the third annual Mikey Awards, we are highlighting and celebrating some amazing people. It is the room to be in. A lot of times it's not about what, it's about who. And we're celebrating the folks. So that is Thursday the 28th at 4 p.m. at Crossroads Art Center. Shout out to my good friend Jenny Kirby, who always takes care of me, and she is the coolest art gallery owner in history. Yep. But she is one of the most interesting women in the world. Yep. I mean, just look at her travel, her travels and her passport. Yep. It will tell you that mine says, Philadelphia, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, San Antonio, Texas. Thank you to that travel agent, the U.S. Army.
All good places.
But we didn't travel like normal people. No. Alrighty, ma'am. So that's enough. So shout out to Karen Webb and all the folks who are being honored this week. Alrighty, ma'am. What else do you have?
Yeah, the other big thing that I want to mention is, we have what we call Chamber Nights Out.
Oh, yes.
Once a month. Well, this month in June is going to be on the 12th of June, and we're holding it at the new campus of Bryant Stratton, so everybody can start seeing and understanding what an impactful place that is. But we will be doing this Chamber Night Out a little differently because it'll be the last one that Joe Casey, our county administrator, will be attending in that role, and we are going to be honoring him and thanking him for everything he's done for the chamber.
There you go. That's Karen Webb. We'd like to thank you for tuning in. How can people keep up with you, ma'am?
Yeah, our website's the best way, and that's www.chesterfieldchamber.com. And it has all of our calendars of events, also community calendar events, as well as a description of all of our programs, our committees, our volunteer work opportunities, and then, of course, everybody's favorite page, our membership and sponsorship page.
That's just fine. Make sure you get out and sponsor the programs. They're doing some amazing things to help my business.
I just got back from the Price of Success as a Woman CEO, and how wonderful MIKEKINGBIZ put a great program together. It had 2-minute presentations from women CEOs, and then had a great panel of 4 sassy women CEOs, and then another group of women CEOs with 2-minute presentations.
Good afternoon. This is Lizzie Morrow with Third Marble Marketing. I'm here with Mike King today. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm talking?
Yes.
Mike King here with my good friend Lizzie Morrow. I'm doing great, thank you.
Good. I just wanted to come by the studio today and let everybody know that next Tuesday, June 2nd, we will be having our Alignable event over at O'Toole's
On Forest?
Forest 11.
That's right, because that is the place to be.
Yeah, and
Everybody's
we're starting
talking.
at 4 p.m.
Okay.
And we'll be there until 6:30 p.m. So come enjoy some refreshments, meet some business owners. It's a B2B networking event, and you come, you check in, let me know who you're looking to meet. I'll be happy to make introductions. We're always willing to do that sort of thing. And put your card up on the board at the end of the night. You take a picture of the board, and you have everybody's contact information.
That is the cool part about that. I've never seen that before. It beats running around collecting cards. Oh, this card, I got one card in my top pocket, one card in my pants pocket, one card in my wallet, because I went, this is a better way of doing it. Yeah. Have you guys been doing that since the beginning? We have. Thank goodness for two-sided tape. That is true, ladies and gentlemen. Because you guys also do that at your training sessions, don't you?
Yeah. So we do that at our in-person workshops at the office. We'll put that board out for everybody because we want people to connect. The whole point is being able to meet other folks who are in the same boat that you are, so you can help one another. So it's always a good way to look at it, see what you can do to help somebody else.
Lizzie Morrow, Third Marble Marketing, she is here with us, and this is about the Alignable event, and that is June 2nd.
Tuesday, June 2nd.
4 o'clock, O'Toole's.
4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at O'Toole's.
How we know who you guys are? You're the ones with the big smiles on your faces over on the side and the back.
Yeah, and you'll see the Alignable signs. And so when you come to the restaurant, you go through to the other side of the bar, and we're on that side. So
in the back.
Yeah, it's kind of like the dual fireplaces, but it's bars.
Yes, and it is a cool place to be. You get a great turnout, a lot of people who are there doing amazing things. You get to meet other business owners.
Yeah. John O'Toole takes great care of us. O'Toole's is a wonderful establishment. That particular location has been around for over 60 years now. We love having our events there, so we appreciate their hospitality.
So you're here with the Alignable part, but you are the Google gal. That's how you are known.
Yep.
Give us something really quickly tell us about what you do on that side of the house.
So Third Marble Marketing, what we do is we are a Google Premier Partner, which means we're in the top 3% for what we do. And that would be Google Ads and search engine optimization management services. And we also build websites because of the necessity of all the Google expectations. So that's kind of evolved as a result of all the updates and changes with Google.
There you go. This is Lizzie Marble.
Lizzie Morrow.
You're not Lizzie Marble. We're just cutting it short.
It's Third Morrow.
Okay, Lizzie Marble will have 2 shows nightly, folks. That is when she's here, taking jokes from the fans. All right, folks. Why am I talking like this? So Tuesday, Alignable.
Mm-hmm.
at O'Toole's, Forest Hill Avenue.
Absolutely.
4 o'clock, be there, business owners.
Or be
You get
square.
a great, that is true. You could be square and looking from the outside in, but it is other business owners who can help you. It's not about what you know, it's who you know a lot of times can help take you to the next step. Mike King, Lizzie Morrow, how can people reach you, ma'am?
www.thirdmarblemarketing.com.
We're going into the summer. Is it anything that get ready for, the summer's kind of like a lull period.
Well, it's not a lull for Google. Google's got a big update coming up around June 15th, and it has to do with third-party forms and consent management. So make sure you get your consent management banner on your website, and make sure you're using a first-party form instead of a third-party form. This is really important if you're running Google Ads campaigns. So anyway, that's a big summer update from Google.
That's something, I don't know if most people knew about that.
Probably a lot would not.
And would that okay, so say I'd never heard Lizzie talk about that right there. What does that mean? So what happens if I don't do it?
Well, if you're advertising, it can mean that when you're bidding on keywords, you're going to get pushed down no matter how much you're bidding on those keywords. It's kind of like you have a. Well, we're really getting to the weeds. Can we?
No, just a little bit. We just go to the top of the weeds.
So you have a budget with Google Ads.
Yes.
And you say, I want to spend this much. They break it down to a daily budget. So you basically
Okay, I've seen that part.
divide it by
I'm with
30.
you so far. We're not deep in the weeds yet.
So you take that budget, and hopefully you're making a competitive budget for your industry. What you're trying to sell. But anyway, regardless of how much you're bidding, Google can push you down in the rankings if you're not doing the things they want you to do. Two of the things they want you to do would be having that consent management banner, which is the cookie banner. Everybody calls it a cookie banner.
Okay.
So it's not like Chips Ahoy cookies. We're talking about privacy. So you have to have a consent banner on your website to say it's okay to track my cookies or it
I've
is
seen
not.
that part.
Yeah, you have to give the person a choice. They have to be able to click the box, whichever one they want, and move on. So it's a consent management issue that you need to address. If you don't already have that banner on your website, you need to get your website designer to put one on your website. Very important.
Okay, so now we're going to get a little bit more down in the weeds. I see that where it says, yes, I consent or I agree.
Uh-huh.
And I see the one that says, no, I don't agree.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of press the one that says, I agree.
Well, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah, because, here's the thing. It's good in that you'll be able to see more. So if you don't agree, you're going to see less. You're going to have access to less.
So that's what that means, with that generally.
You're basically saying you can't track what I'm looking at on your website.
So because I'm not allowing that, you're not going to let me see everything.
Right. So it's just important to be able to have that. They actually, it kind of, in a way, is a really good thing for a business owner to have, because they've done some research and studies show that it acts kind of like a filter for people who really want to work with you. So if they go to your website and they agree to it, chances are they're going to convert to an actual client. It's a much better chance that conversion is actually going to turn into a client, because they're agreeing to your cookies and they're agreeing to, let you track them. So.
There you go, Lizzie Morrow. You didn't know we went down. We didn't really go into the weeds.
A little bit.
But that's something that a person wouldn't know. So, folks, that's why you tune in and see the program, Lizzie Morrow dropping nuggets of knowledge. We got to go, folks. Thanks now. Take care.
Hey, it's Kelly Lemon from the Virginia Wayside Furniture Studio for an all-new episode of 8 at 4. It's Kelly. All right, here we go.
Hey, it's Matt Pachilli from the Virginia Wayside Furniture Studio for this food-filled
I'm Kelly
episode.
Lemon.
And I'm Michael Paul Williams.
And welcome to the After the Monuments podcast.
Happy playoff season, 804 football fans.
For the Richmond Times-Dispatch, this is Jeff Shapiro.
I'm Justin Lowe, food writer for N4 Magazine and dining critic for the Richmond Times-Dispatch. And I'm here to tell you where Richmond eats.
Our marketplace is accelerating at an unprecedented rate.
At Lee Enterprises Virginia and the Richmond Times-Dispatch, we are investing in the tools, talent, and technology to tell your story through a fresh lens, lifting local brands and helping businesses grow. Let us help you amplify your message, reaching the right audience at the right time.
Welcome to the Road to Richmond bracket unveiling.
When you have to make financial choices, it's nice to have a partner to help you make the right call. That's a great idea. Let's do this. Call Federal Credit Union. Your best call.
It started with an announcement and a narrative of why we wanted to do this, why we felt it was a great idea to start these type conversations, and sort of what our motivation is behind an end result. I feel like if you're going to do anything, there should be an end result. You should be after something. So my name is Michael White. I'm Director of Business Development for the Metropolitan Business League. I've been working with NBL for a few years now and have had the opportunity to really see and experience what it takes to be an entrepreneur, all the challenges that are out there as an entrepreneur, but just as importantly, the great things about being an entrepreneur. I myself, a lot of people might know me, I do stand-up comedy for a living, been doing comedy for 27 years. And I did not know I was an entrepreneur for all that time. So when it came to me stepping into this particular role, while I became president of the African American Chamber of Commerce, I took that experience that I ran and learned through comedy and kind of infiltrated the economic space in that, teaching what I didn't know that I already knew, if that makes sense. And then Floyd Miller, who's the president and CEO of the Metropolitan Business League, we had become executives literally within a month of each other. The African American Chamber, that didn't work out because they had some resources that were really challenging about bringing in an ED at the time. So for 5 years, Floyd kept asking me to join the NBL. And I'm like, dude, I do not want a job. I'm good on the job thing. He asked again, I don't want a job. Then he'll call and be like, hey, I got this position. Just wanted to know if you knew anybody that's good for it. I'll call somebody else. Then the pandemic hit, and Floyd called, and I said, look at God. Funny how that works, right? So I joined the NBL. Since joining the NBL, I have recognized just how strong we are as a community if we stick together, especially as entrepreneurs. I think quite often we compete with one another, but the reality is all you need to do is stay in your lane, and if you stay in your lane and help people as they go as you can, you'll realize that working together is way more powerful than trying to compete with everybody else. So what we do at the NBL is try to bring everybody together to create a power source. So with all that being said, today's event, we want to talk about specifically the Petersburg ecosystem. And that's directly with Petersburg, but as well as Hopewell, Dinwiddie, Prince George, and maybe even touching down to Brunswick a little bit, which is where the NBL is. What is happening with the Yonkin Initiative as it pertains to Petersburg itself? What do you all feel, and what do we express that we might feel that is great for businesses in Petersburg, but also what have been the challenges for businesses in Petersburg? And we do want you to write down your questions. We're going to talk for a while, but really most importantly, we want to make sure we answer the questions that you all have. So I'm done with that. I'll let the panel introduce themselves. We'll start here, then we'll go there, and then we'll go with our moderator.
Okay, thank you, sir. My name is Ken Alfred. I'm the Chief Nursing Officer, Chief Nurse Executive for Poplar Springs Hospital.
Hi, I'm Chris Kane. I'm the Chief Lending Officer for People's Advantage Federal Credit Union.
All right. And Mike King, who are you, brother? And you can get us rolling.
All right, so my name's Mike King. I host a business radio show. It's called On the Mic with Mike. For folks who've never seen me do this before, this isn't a typical, why am I sitting next to a comedian entrepreneur? That's all I want to know.
And a banker on the other side.
Right. So,
and a nurse.
Right here, and a nurse. All right, so really quickly, I always ask people, we're going to start. So Kent, you gave the really quick who you are. Really tell people what you do over at Poplar Springs.
Absolutely. So our goal is to manage individuals with mental illness, depression, schizophrenia, anxiety disorders, and to make them functional so that they can go back to school, go back to work, etc. We do have inpatient services, so people that need more aggressive support, we have the ability to do that. But we also offer outpatient services. So people who have a 9-to-5 job, who need maybe divorce, separation, school, whatever things happen in life, our goal is to support them, make sure they're mentally healthy and able to go back into society.
Alrighty, so a lot of times, come on in, have a seat, come on, there you go. So as a lot of people don't realize, we talk to bankers. People always get nervous when we talk to bankers. Like we got to get, dressed up and straightened up. So we got a banker here. Let's talk about, people's advantage, the things that you guys are doing, and tell people who you are, what you do, really.
What we really do, again, I'm Chris Kane. I'm the Chief Lending Officer at People's Advantage Federal Credit Union. And what makes us different, and sometimes you should be a little nervous with bankers, right?
But just a little?
Just a little.
Okay.
But not all financial institutions are the same. And we are actually and what makes us distinctly different is why we exist in our mission. We're all about people first. Literally in our name. Not only in our name, but that's a part of what we do. We're a community development financial institution. And so what that means, we use traditional tools in non-traditional ways to help people build wealth. And we specifically help people that are not in the financial mainstream. We can help you buy a house if your credit score is as low as 580. We can help you fund your small business. If you got an idea in your head right now, we can help you fund it as a startup and get that business out of your head and out into the world. You can talk to Antonio about that. But we're all about helping people become more savvy with their money, because there's only two ways to make your financial life better, right? Make money or spend less, right? And I don't know about you guys, but inflation's hitting us all pretty hard right now, so spending less is kind of difficult. But what we do is we offer a full suite of services like checking accounts and savings accounts and education and support. Because what you guys were saying is it takes a village, it takes a community. And you are not alone in this, right? We want to be a part of your team. So that's what makes us different. I don't look like a banker, I don't sound like a banker, right? And we're not your traditional financial institution. And we're up here talking about start for a reason. So I'm going to throw that out there, and we'll continue that conversation. But thank you.
All right. So really quickly, let me go back and talk about my business. Really, what it is so One of Mike is a social enterprise business show that believes business can help society be better, and that's what we do every day. So a lot of people know me as MIKEKINGBIZ. When I look around this room, there's a bunch of people who know me as just Mike, because that's the evolution of the business and the brand. Tanya Battle's been there for Coach Miller. Jonathan Young has been, along the way we've talked. There's Sam Anderson, serial entrepreneur. I remember back when I just got here back in 2014, 2015. It's the evolution of a business. So you guys are here. We're here to talk about what's happening in this ecosystem here. Elijah's purpose. There you go. So when you look at a business or you look at something that's going on, it's about branding and letting people know what you do. The sad part about what's going on, a lot of times people say bad things happen in Petersburg or the Tri-Cities. The news is here immediately, but the news and media is not here immediately when something good is going on. See, we got the Mayor Parham in the house here, and so we're going to talk about what's happening. We're going to start off with the partnership. Oh, 1 second here. See, they gave me notes to make sure the Petersburg Initiative. So let's talk about what that means. The panel's gonna talk, and then we're gonna open it up for Q&A. Alrighty.
I'll start. First of all, the NBL, we're very excited about the partnership initiative that Governor Youngkin has brought to Petersburg. First time I heard about it, saw it, we have a great mayor down here in Petersburg. I'm not saying it because he's sitting here. I tell people that all the time.
He's accessible, too.
That's part of being a great mayor. But when I first saw him speak about this initiative, he was so excited. He was literally on stage at the library shaking. And I don't know if you knew that you were shaking on stage, but it was the excitement. And I think that excitement comes from being, optimistic. Petersburg has been promised a lot for a long time. And a lot of those promises has gotten us to exactly where we are right now, not too far. So when you talk about new things that are going to be happening in Petersburg, Those that hear it in the offices, in the meetings, they're excited because they believe it. But those that are in the community, they doubt it because they're looking at what has happened over the past. This particular initiative, I really believe, is going to be something that's going to catapult a new future for Petersburg. It's not just what we're doing. I'll get to the entrepreneurial aspect of it, but what they're doing with VDOT in the Amtrak station and the freeways. If you look now coming down 95, the hotel, the Ramada Inn that I used to party at back in 1998, had a good time at the Ramada Inn at homecoming and things of that nature for Virginia State. It went down and it became an eyesore. And it was sort of a representation of what you could expect from Petersburg every time you drove past it for the last 15 years. Now it's down. That within itself creates new hope. When you think about the bipartisanship partnership between Kim and Joe, Republican Democrats trying to work together to create opportunities for people in this community. I think that is very important. But then on the entrepreneurial part, one of the first things we're rolling out is this grant program where we're assessing $500,000 in grants to businesses that are either residents of Petersburg or they're operating in Petersburg. $500,000 you might seem like a little bit of money, but that little money, if you do right by it, can turn into a great amount of money. One of the things I wish that employees would use this money for is to get employees. When you are a nonprofit, it is great. I mean, well, not a nonprofit. When you are a small business, it is great for you to work on your hobby by yourself. That is great. But what changes the footprint financially is when you hire people. Because this is when you're able to pay them. They can get off work and go spend their money out in the community. That's how money starts to circulate. It's good to have it on your own and hog it to yourself, but we really want to help you start to hire people because A, it creates jobs, which create tax opportunities for the community, but then secondly allows you to be able to go out and spend money. So I specifically love the aspect of us giving all this money out.
You like giving the money away.
I love giving money away.
And you know, and it's funny because Shelby Brown, we were down in Brunswick, and they're like, boy, MBL's giving out money. MBL is giving out money. One of the things we really want to touch on quickly is, and I'm on the outside looking in, it's MBL is on the forefront of making things happen. So a lot of people wouldn't understand the initiative. A lot of people don't have their ear to the ground. So to the entrepreneur who's out there, really talk to them really quickly about what it means to be a part or have a part with MBL.
What we do with MBL, as you heard me say earlier, we have 1,012 members. When you have 1,012 members, we have whatever business you can think of, and those you probably would never conceptualize, we have them as a member. What that does, it allows you to create more networking opportunities to be able to if I have a gap in my business, because as an entrepreneur, you don't necessarily out the gate have all the money and all the resources that you need to thrive. But when you have somebody else that might be able to lend a helping hand, can give you some expertise, advice, can hold your hand through that beginning process to help you get to wherever they got to, that's when you're able to grow. So MBL first allows you to network with other businesses. Secondly, to the point that you made, if you need resources and that resource being money, we have the opportunities to get you some money. We've given away almost $1 million in our resurgence grants due to the pandemic. The other day, just because we hit 1,000 members, I gave a member $1,000, telling you how we held a check up for $1,000 just for a member, just some bypass dollars. We also are starting our sort of an own CDFI initiative with the MBL, and what that is small interest loan banking. We started that process, whereas if you're a barbershop, just to give you an example, if you're a barbershop, one of your chairs go bad. Sometimes that can be a lot of money to get that barber chair fixed. If you can call the MBL and say, hey man, all I need is $1,000, I can get it back to you in 6 months, we can have that money available for you. So that's what the MBL is. It is all resources and all opportunities to network with other businesses and entrepreneurs in the city.
Here we go. We're here in Petersburg. Alrighty, so we're talking about money. So clearly I'm going to look down to the banker. Because when we talked about it a minute ago, you said money allows a lot of things to happen. And you finished the last part, which was?
And with no money, stops things in their tracks.
Yes. So let's talk about, a lot of times, as I said, people were concerned about going to a bank because you don't fit into, and that's one of the things that Coach Miller's always talking about, when you don't fit into the mold. Talk a little bit about what do you think this initiative will do for the people to get that mindset that you can come into people's advantage and talk just because you don't fit into the stereotype.
Right, and I take pride that we don't. that we don't fit into that stereotype again. We're all about people, right? And I want to, but before I talk a little bit about the products and services in which we offer and why we do, I want to back up and say a little bit about the Partnership for Petersburg initiative and what it kind of means to, what I think it means for the community, but also what I'm really, really excited about. One of the things that we haven't mentioned yet, we're talking about businesses and the ecosystem in which those businesses can flourish, and the dollars that businesses need, and the connections and the relationships. But one of the reasons why I like to help businesses start is for the most selfish reason at all. I want to go to those businesses. I think our businesses are the heart and soul of our neighborhood. It makes our neighborhoods fun to live in. It creates jobs hyper locally in a way that we can live and work in the same community. I think right now, with everything that's going on, specifically with the Partnership for Petersburg, there's a culmination of a lot of these partners all coming together with that same focus, right? So we need bankers to the table. We need comedians to the table. But we also, that retention piece that we haven't quite gotten to yet, well, one of the reasons why people stay in communities is because there's cool stuff to do and there's jobs to be had, and businesses do that. And I don't want to shy away from that, because I think Petersburg is really ripe for that right now. Don't you guys think that? Yeah. Yeah? Right. So, and thank you. But like I said, I want to be able to walk from, you guys know the Financial Empowerment Center. Wait, which direction? That way. Is, 100 yards away. And so being able to walk outside of those doors and being able to walk to businesses that we help create, and we know that businesses are staying here, and so students will want to stay here too, because there's fun stuff to do and there's jobs that can be had and they can start their business here. That's creating that environment. And I think that first and foremost is why the Financial Empowerment Center is right here, because we believe in this community. Right? And we think it's really important for us to be on the ground in this community. And so the types of things that we offer are, like I said, we have small business loans and education and support. And we're going to be hold on, folks, because we're going to start having boot camps right here to help you get what's in your brain out into the world and getting that funded. Right? We can actually help you buy a house, because once those businesses are open, you're going to want to stay here, right? We can help you buy that house in an affordable way. We have a new affordable home ownership program. So if your credit score isn't great, we can help you get it there. But you know what? It doesn't have to be great to be a homeowner, right? That's another thing that we were just talking about that earlier, right? The nervousness that people have even walking into a financial institution. That's one of the barriers that we want to take away. We know people are going to tell you more about their dating life than they are ever going to tell you about what's happening in their checking account. And there's a reason for that, because it's scary and it's personal and so much is on the line. So one of the reasons why it's important for us to put people first is because we build relationships with people. We need to be honest with ourselves about our financial situation, right? We need to be honest with ourselves so we can be honest with our partners, so we can get that access to capital. And we want to have that access to capital infused with integrity and respect. And that's something that I think most bankers leave out of the conversation.
Spoken like a banker that you probably don't hear spoken like that many times. That almost sounds like a revival. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's a different kind of banker.
That's a different kind. That's banking done differently. All right, what I want to do now, and people who know me, I connect the dots. I do. And one of the dots is, and a shout out to people who know me, I'm on the radio every day, but I'm not on there. I don't work for the radio stations. Sponsors and advertisers who help me be on, because I always say the microphone ain't free. Plus, my grandkids need stuff. So one of the people that I work with is Poplar Springs Hospital, and they're right here in the community. And so we get the chief nursing officer, Kent, here to talk about opportunities a lot of times, but also they talk about how they're totally, engaged in the community, and how he and Poplar Springs see this ecosystem here in Petersburg.
Well, thanks, Mike. I just want to say, after COVID, people became more sensitive to their mental health issues. We know during COVID, we saw depression, isolation, separation. We saw an increase of domestic violence. Unfortunately, we also saw an increase of substance abuse, alcohol use, as well as illicit substances. So at Poplar Springs, now we're post-COVID, we're coming back into our norm. our mental health didn't come back into its norm. It actually exacerbated because of the isolation we were under for 2 years. Our hospital is very sensitive to that. We have tailored programs to meet the community need. One of the things, relationships really suffered during COVID. And I'm not talking about married relationships, children, parents, grandparents, etc. So we've created what we call an intensive outpatient program. So people that work in the daytime can come in the evening to talk about these things. How has your relationships been impacted? Your ability to work, your ability to function, your ability to just be safe. Suicide is a big problem. It is still number 3 in the country for death for young people between ages 10 to 24. Wow. Depression is on the rise. And if you look at social media, every time someone has an unfortunate event of suicide, it's exacerbated. So our young people, we're seeing our adolescent population is really under assault. Each day that I go on my units and I talk to our young people, they are dealing with issues that 20 years ago we were adults dealing with. Now they're 12 and 13 and managing the same issues. So the mental health state is definitely an issue, but at Poplar Springs, we're trying to be available to the community. We're adapting our program to support the community and making sure that our mental health goes back to where it should be so we can function and carry on.
Very quickly, so Ken, on the business side, you've talked on the clinician side. On the business side of it, let's talk about some of the challenges for Poplar Springs that you see in the near future.
So this nursing shortage thing, I'm sure everybody's heard about it, nursing shortage, it is huge. It hit us like a lightning bolt. Being able to attract nurses in Petersburg, think about the Richmond area. You know, you have big system hospitals, competitor hospitals, and then when you say come to Poplar Springs, how do you compete? Also, rates of nurses have increased. Travel nurses have really taken the salary from where it used to be to an extreme amount. So at Poplar Springs, we know that we were shaken also by this nursing shortage. So we couldn't do this alone. We had to create some partnerships. One of the partnerships we did create was with Brian Stratton. So to our employees that want to become nurses, we give them the opportunity to become nurses. We support them with the Brian Stratton Initiative. And I'm fortunate to say we have one gentleman who has started this program, and his class has started yesterday. Awesome. Because of this partnership. So well done. 18 months, he's going to be a nurse. So we are getting all kinds of help, guys, but it does take a village approach because this nursing shortage is really taking us by the storm.
One of the things people always talk about when you go for medical care, the doctor comes in and they talk and they say their piece and they say, does anyone have any questions? And everybody shakes their head no. The doctor walks out. The second he walks out, he looks. So what did he mean? And you know who they turn to? They turn to the nurse. Yeah. They turn to the nurse all the time. So shout out to Brian and Stratton as well as shout out to Beth Murphy for always making great things happen and Poplar Springs. Micah, the MBL talks to a ton of people, and I always ask people, what are the streets saying when you look at it from an entrepreneurial standpoint and things that are needed for success? What's happening out in the streets?
I think, the obvious thing, resources. They always want money. Everybody want money. And as they should. That's why you're in business, to make money, give money, or whatever it is. But I think what I try to get back to the streets is, and this is what I say to most young entrepreneurs. When I say young, I don't mean in age, I mean in how long you've been doing your business. Show me your plan. Show me your business plan. Well, I got it. I know what I'm doing. If you can't lay your plan out, the people that got the dominant resources for you won't be able to help you because what's in your head is not in their head. Yeah, also, when I see a person that comes to me with a business plan that is tight, is proficient, is efficient, it's got its stuff together, that is someone that I know I can trust with whatever I'm about to help them through the process with. When I see somebody that's kind of all over the place, it doesn't mean I can't trust them. It just means that we got a little bit of work to do before I carry you to Tanya. We got a little bit of work to do before I carry you to Chris. And also people want the money immediately, like they want it today. Well, there's a grant for $500,000. I need to get my stuff together today. Well, you probably won't have enough time to get it together today. Then they'll walk away, well, forget it. No. Still get it together because there's another grant on the way. I will guarantee it. So if you don't get it together now because of this particular grant, when the next one comes and you didn't do anything between now and then, guess what? You're going to be stuck in the same situation. So I always tell them, yes, the streets want money, but I tell the streets, please do with your due diligence to put yourself in a position to get the money that's out there to be had.
Yes. But one thing, I'm so glad that you talked about a business plan.
People show up without a business plan to you?
Oh.
What's it on, a cocktail napkin?
Oh, well, actually, that cocktail napkin thing actually exists. But no, I'm going to talk a little bit about why business plans are so important. And I'm not talking about an 80-page treatise on the deliciousness of coffee or whatever it is that you're wanting to start. I want to know what your experience and expertise is. I want to know what you don't know. I want to know who you're surrounding yourself, like who's in your ecosystem, who's going to help you handle those holy bleep moments that you're going to have with your business, because you are going to have them. Right. But most importantly, going through the process of writing a business plan, and people don't do it because it's hard and it's confusing and it can be embarrassing if you think you're doing it wrong. The thing is, what I like about that whole process, because it helps you as an entrepreneur figure out how you fit into your business. Amen. You are the most important asset to your business, and if you don't know how you fit into it, nobody else is going to know either. So yes, that process is hard, it's a pain in the tuchus, and it's going to show you kind of who you are. But that's the point.
A comprehensive, and what I tell all our members when we're working through business plans, and we have an example of the book in the office, Business Model Generation. That is the book I would highly recommend, that if you're an entrepreneur trying to write your business plan. Business Model Generation. It's a 9-step process. It breaks it down very easily for you to execute, and it gives you all the data points that you're going to need for the business plan. So Business Model Generation is the book that I recommend anyone that is a young entrepreneur or established entrepreneur to get to write your business plan.
One of the things I always talk about, and I have a business radio show, I was a salesman and working for a company. It's a big difference between selling things and somebody else owning the business and then getting out and being an entrepreneur. You know, there's a whole bunch of things on the back end. I'm like, Lordy, you got to do all those things? So what you need to do is have a group of people, a support system, people who've been down that road. Like you said, it's not age as far as how old you are, experience. It's somebody who's been in business, who understands, whether it's a business coach or whatever. The other thing I can say is find your lane. Whatever you do, there's somebody else who does it, but they don't do it like you. I had to find my lane. I was the business radio guy on conservative radio. And people are scared to come to the station. They're like, I'm not coming there. But I'm like, we're here talking about business. I remember Jonathan Young coming, just come to the station. We're going to talk about how business works and what makes you different. Tanya Battle is a brand. She's a brand. Her name is a brand. So that's what you do. So the idea of it is, how can this happen? You just have to find your lane and run, because, as you said, nobody understands your thing. Nobody understands it. And everybody's going to tell you it can't be done. And it can't be done. But we got some people in the house here. We're going to give you a chance to talk, but they give me talking points because, sometimes I can sort of go off the rails.
I know a little bit about that, too.
You know what? When we're off the rails, it's okay. But when people start to look at you kind of weird, they're like, okay, maybe we need to
bring it back.
Maybe we need to bring it back. But it always circulates and it gets back to the business. Let's talk about the relationship between entrepreneurs and the community. Now, that's my area. Mr. Kent, I've come down to Poplar Springs. You guys have had me down here for the Rotary at 7 o'clock or so in the morning. I'm like, what am I doing coming from the west end of Richmond? Poplar Springs is big time committed to the community. Talk about why that's important.
Well, we know our community issues also impact mental health. Everything you do, how you think, how you move, how you feel, and of course, starting a business, all that's connected to how you are mentally. So our partnerships with the Rotary Club, our community, homelessness is an issue. People don't have enough food insecurity. People also have all types of social issues. So our partnerships are crucial, not just to come in for mental health services, but to let them know that we're available to partner with them as people and then give them resources or connect them to other resources that we don't offer.
All righty, Micah, let's talk about that MBO. You guys, 1,000+ members.
Right.
Everybody's telling you what's happening out there. Let's talk about the connection between not just MBO, but you see the MBO members totally tied to the community.
So, as a comedian, let me put that hat on so much in the engagement. I thank God that I did not become famous early, because when you become famous, you become jaded and you become very transactional. You're not really worried about the person that's in front of you. You just want to make the transaction. When you're not famous and you want people to come to your show, you have to become relational. I have to build real relationships with people. I had to shake hands. I got to remember names, and not in a fake kind of manipulative way, in a real way, and appreciate people coming to see my show. But it's the same thing if you own a small business, especially in a place like Petersburg. You cannot be transactional in Petersburg and expect to have a great business. You got to become relational. You got to let people know that you're there first for them as a human. Then second, by the way, I have a product that I can offer you. And I think that's one of the ways that the community sort of supports the businesses. When I moved back from Los Angeles, I started a company called RVA Has Talent. And what we did is we took local artists, I took local nonprofits, put them together, help them both raise money and build relationships together. The reason I did that was to let the artists know that if you want to make money as an artist, you also have to have a system of give back to the community. Because that way people will keep showing up and they'll invest into you because they know you're going to drop something back on them, you know? So I think that's number one thing, is to build relationships. If you have a restaurant and your food is it's edible, and you are a phenomenal person, people will come to your business and eat that food. But if you have a restaurant and your food is amazing, but you yourself as the business owner is someone that don't connect with the community, they're going to walk right past your business. So it's who you are, the first brand of your business, you as a person. So that's what I think is very important in creating connections with the community. Let them know that you're there for them as a human first, and then secondly, offer them whatever you have to sell.
No, absolutely. Again, it's not only is that those relationships important, but it's also connectivity, and there's got to be some trust too, right? Mm-hmm. Because if I run a business, and if you're not, if I can't trust you to offer me something tasty, but you're offering me some really great ambiance, great, but I'm also trusting you to keep me safe, right, as well. So that's not only food safety, that's kind of an obvious one too, but it's having, because whenever you, even a business owner and their customer, your customers got to trust you. They have to. Right. And that integrity and respect goes both ways. And that entrepreneur, and I got to tell you, I've seen more businesses fail, not because their product sucked, or their product wasn't so great. Exactly. Right? It's because of who they are as a person. It's the relationships that they do or they don't have. Because so many businesses, and I'm hoping what's going to happen here too, is taking not only being able to have a thriving downtown, but I want to see more businesses to solve social problems, because I think one of the things that Petersburg is also really ripe for is for the people who live here, that believe in Petersburg, be able to help create businesses that solve the social problems that we have as a community, and that takes trust.
It does.
And Mike, I was going to comment on that. Good point. At Poplar Springs, one of the things we did early on when I first started was to go to the local barbershops. And if any of you know, that's where a lot of community conversations happen. It's raw, it's unfiltered, and sometimes it can be a little nervous. But we went because COVID-19, I don't know if you realize it, but COVID-19, we were way behind in compliance, and our numbers were out of the water. So we talked to individuals at the barbershop, the barbers, the patrons, about what was going on and establishing a relationship. And they told us they didn't have trust in the system. Some of them didn't know where to go, and some of them were, I guess, the myths of COVID-19 allowed them to be non-compliant. So we didn't talk about mental health. We talked about COVID-19 for 2 hours, and that was one of the best conversations, Mike, I think I've had, an honest conversation. Wow. And we got 5 of those patrons to get the COVID vaccine. So what a successful thing, because we built the relationship before we talked about other things.
Very quickly, so when we talk about partnerships, 3 years or so ago, on my radio show, I'd always have SBA on. And one of the things, I'm in business to try and make money, but to stay on the air. SBA never had money. I'm like, man, these guys, come on now, give me a little something. All right, but I let them come on because I understood having a partnership with SBA was good. And then COVID showed up. And then, you know, all the money showed up. And everybody wanted to know how to get the PPP.
PPP loan,
You know who's sitting next to me? Carl Knobloch from SBA every Wednesday. You know why? Because we had already started that. It didn't become because of the money. Now all of a sudden it became more valuable because now I have access to the person with the information. So the relationships are valuable. Another thing I want to touch on is the power of the media. It's always good to have friends in the media because, as you know, if something bad goes on, the media is here 5 minutes before it happens, and you wonder how they knew. But when good things happen in this town, in the Tri-Cities, we need to let people know. And I'm always out there screaming about there's a lot of things happening in Petersburg area. The mayor doesn't know this, but there's a festival that was coming up. There was a comedian, and he wanted to put on a show through Poplar Springs. And all of a sudden, I'm like, how did it happen? He said, I went to the mayor, and the mayor made it happen. You know what? That's replicated over and over again, and I always talk to businesses about culture. How do you set the right culture? And that's what it comes down to. And that's the relationship part. And that's one of the things we're going to do here today is we're here to give you guys information, but we're also here to get some feedback about telling us what's happening in the streets and also to connect you with the certain resources.
Let me say this real quick. In an area like this, to a point that Chris made, the trust factor. If you are an entrepreneur, small business, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, under-promise and over-deliver.
Every time.
Make that a habit of doing. Because if you consistently under-promise and over-deliver, people, the greatest marketing is word of mouth. And that can excel you or it can destroy you. If you consistently under-promise and over-deliver, you're always doing more than what you say, and you also don't put yourself in a position to fail easily. But if you're promising things at a high level, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and you know your resources are a little bit limited, if it doesn't work out, you're in a small community. People are going to go and talk about that. And they say it's like you have to do 12 things right to make up for that one thing that you did wrong. But in order to do the 12 things right, you need to get 12 more opportunities. And sometimes that one wrong thing can make it hard to get those 12 opportunities to do them right to make up for that one wrong. So under promise, over deliver. I'll give you a personal story real quick. We have a member here. I'm going to talk about Ebony, this young lady right here. Week before last, we had, what was it? Freedom Classic. But what was the event that we had? It was, Antonio, what was the event that we had here? Yes, the grant. So I pull up just to check out the event. Ebony's walking out. She's an NBL member. And I was about to, the next week, go and get my windows tinted. But Ebony tints windows. And so just in passing, she says, Mr. White, I want to work with you about getting this business plan together. I said, okay, cool, let's get the business plan together. She told me this amazing idea that she had. And something in my spirit said, get Ebony to tint your windows. So as we're standing by my car, I said, can you tint my windows? She said, yeah. I said, when can you do it? She said, I can do it Saturday. I said, okay. Now this was Thursday. Friday, Saturday morning, not only did I trust her to tint my windows, she dropped me off at Virginia State University and took my car with her, all right? She takes my car back, and I didn't know what to expect. She never promised me an amazing situation. The only thing she said is, I can get the job done. When she brought my car back, let me tell y'all, my swag was on 1,000.
That's right. There you go.
Man, she had put something in my spirit. What you say?
Go, Ebony.
Hey, man, I'm telling you. So that experience, and I immediately put it on Instagram. If you look at my Instagram, I don't put much on Instagram. I immediately put it on Instagram, number one, because I wanted to let people know I had, my car was tight. But reason number two, I wanted people to know that this small woman-owned black business down in Petersburg had hooked me up, and she can hook you up too. Two things that we're going to do after that. Number one, we're going to tighten up this business plan because she got to get it together to get her own brick and mortar so that she can do more for what she's already started. And then number two, we're going to raise her prices.
That's right.
Because where I was going to go and get my windows tinted, they were going to charge me $500. Ebony, with the extras, charged me only $250. So we got to at least go to $300. because she can get that little bit of money extra, and she deserves it because she does a great job. So those are the type of relationships that you have to build in the community by under-promising and over-delivering.
That's right.
There you go. But what did it start with her saying, let's do this?
She started, for me, what hit my spirit was the fact that she didn't come to me trying to sell me something. She came to me trying to help her business become better.
That's right.
So me knowing that she was trying to invest some sweat equity into getting a better business, those are the people I want to support.
That's right.
Because I know mentally and foundationally, they're off to the start that I know a great business needs to have.
And that's why we do it. That is why we do it. And I also feel like it's our responsibility. It's a great example. It's our responsibility to listen. We need to we read in between the lines, and we need to be able to listen, and we need to be able to do it authentically.
That word.
Because we're all here selling something, technically, right? But it's that authenticity and, again, that respect, too. Because like I said, the reason why all of us are here is because we all have a story for Ebony, or have Ebony's that we want to continue to help, right?
Right.
That's why we are here.
So from that standpoint, marketing, branding, whatever you want to call it, if you're not shouting your business out every day, you're wrong. People never see me without my name or my stuff. They're like, what's your name? I'm like, you can't read? It's right here. My name is Mike King. What's the name of your business? MIKEKINGBIZ. Well, I had to think of it on the mic with Mike. It's the radio show, but that's what it is. You have to let people know. Nobody ever bought something from somebody they never heard of.
That's right.
Ebony made a difference. Yo, hey, I can do it. Next thing you know, when can you do it? I can do it. Yo, we can go do it right now almost. That's the difference between an entrepreneur and making it happen, whether you're a business or a nonprofit. And I can say shout out once again to Elijah's Purpose out there doing some really great things. That's what happens. We have to let people know. Alrighty, are we ready to open the floor up?
Yeah, we can.
Do it.
Alrighty. Anyone have any questions, comments? Let us know what's happening. And I know you had it because you got some your daughter's books are out there. Come on, man, it's that time to shine.
How you guys doing? My name is James Price. I represent Price Solutions. So yeah, my daughter, Gianna Price, she's young author actually. She wrote, these are her first two books, Finding Myself and Loving Myself. We started back in 2021. So we just just coming home from being incarcerated. I wanted to change my life. So as an author, that's what we did, and we started this business. We went out selling my books. Fast forward, her book sells more than I do. I know when I see a good investment.
There you go, Dad. That's what I'm talking about.
So we took her books and we turned them into animations because we want to reach kids all over the world. We want to be able to inspire other kids and just inspire our community. And so my first question would go to Ms. Chris Kane. What would my business need to get funding as a new business? What
as a brand new business, what's getting in your head and out into the world? We have already talked about a business plan, right? But what you really need to do is have a good have your ideas on paper. And are you currently? I can get into the weeds a little bit, but kind of have your documentation ready to go to become a legitimate business. So if you don't have your business license and all of that, totally still come in and can talk to any of us. Okay. We can help you do it. But kind of get all your documentation together, but have a good idea about what you're wanting to do and how you want to do it. And then you see that gentleman right there? Antonio, introduce yourself.
And we set that up, and I have the microphone to do it. Good morning. I'm Antonio Miller. I'm a small business member advocate for People's Advantage at the Empowerment Center, which is that way, end of the block. We do funding, microlending up to $50K for small businesses. No time in business required. You do have to be registered, have a business license, etc. But then we take it from there. So wherever you're on the entrepreneurship journey, we pick up there and we kind of walk you to the finish line. We work with all our partners, MBL, Bridging, LISC. There's a number of them. I'm not going to name all of them. But if you come sit down, I'll run them off to you. But yeah, all you need is just your paperwork, as she said, taxes, business plan, business projections, personal taxes, things of that nature. But schedule an appointment and we'll walk you through it.
Do y'all have any business plan templates that you can give to small business owners so that way they can have like a guideline of what y'all are looking for?
Yes, we do. I personally hand out a business plan template. It goes over just about anything you would need. And I also work with our partners to, and Minority Small Business Launch Center has the Launchpad Pro. We're developing boot camp series. So yeah, just about any tool that you would need or that a financial institution would ask you for if you went to go get funds, we'll provide that for you. We collect those and we make sure that you have the devices and tools you need to get funded and move forward.
Yeah, and if you don't know what you need, we'll tell you. So that's one of the things that I want to do is like let's take away that barrier because we're all a little scared, right? Getting what's in our brain out into the world. But what our goal is to get you where you need to be in order for you to not only get funded, but to get open and to become profitable, right? And how old is Tatiana?
She's 8. Her name is Jayana. She's 8.
Awesome.
She's 8 now. Right now, we've expanded, like I said, to the YouTube channel. She has over 1,000 followers. Watch hours is getting up there. So we want to be able to expand into more production, film. She's a great actor. She's been under Nakia Dillard, who's been on several big streams.
She's way ahead.
So yeah,
from
a lot of
getting
people,
what's in your brain out into the world. That's great.
That's good.
Yeah, a lot of people have invested their time into her, so we want to be able to cultivate what she has going so that we can start investing back into the community.
Oh, that's fantastic.
One of the things, he comes up here and he says, hey, you need to hear about my daughter. That's what you need. Somebody who is out there, like you said, word of mouth, somebody's saying, hey, you need to go talk to this person or that person. That makes a big difference. If you go over to the credit union and you know that you want to talk to Antonio about what's happening out there. I'm going to say, don't make me start calling on people. There's Miss B right there. Yes.
Yep, I have a question. My name is Amanda Habansky. I'm the president and CEO of People's Advantage Federal Credit Union. Also want to give Ebony a shout out. She tinted the windows at our empowerment center and they are fantastic.
Tinting everything.
Yes.
I love it.
And that's right. And thank you to the NBL for hosting this. My question is for Ken. The connection between the sort of hustle and grind it takes as a startup and an entrepreneur, connecting to the mental health space. You see so many entrepreneurs struggling with the mental health from burnout. Are there tools or resources that you would suggest for individuals that might be struggling in that space to support them?
So obviously at our hospital, we do offer support. We have what we call day hospitals. People can come in, therapists, clinicians. They'll basically take an assessment of you. Like, where are you right now? What is your mental health like? Are you, when you wake up in the morning, are you have positive thoughts, or are your thoughts going to a dark place? And then what interventions we do? We teach coping skills. We teach people how to activate coping skills when they're not feeling their best, or rejection. As you know, as business owners, sometimes rejection may come in different forms, and people respond to that as the way they grew up. You're a psychological representation of all your insults. So how you deal with rejection is basically built upon how you were raised, your coping skills, and your protective factors. So our job is to make sure that you activate those, because when a rejection comes, it's not a one-on-one off. You can recover, you can get back up, and you can be strong. So our hospital will give you those resources.
Really quickly, so Amanda, you had the microphone, and being the CEO, I always talk, and I talked to Ken about this as well. Let's talk about culture. How do you set a winning culture that people thrive in your environment, that makes people want to come over to the credit union and talk to you guys?
I think the rhetoric that's been said today applies to people first. We really set a culture around talking to our staff, sharing our strategic plan and our vision, seeking feedback from our staff, and then conversations like this, right? Like, if our products and services don't meet the needs of the community, then what are we even doing here? So it's all goes back to the connection to the people and the communities we serve.
There you go. All right, really quick, I got to give a shout out to my man Barry Moore, just walked in from
Barry
the Better
Moore.
Business
What's up,
Bureau. Shout out to him. So for anybody that doesn't know, on the mic with Mike, we are accredited business, and we talked about trust before Barry Moore walked in. It's about, as Micah would say, you're delivering more than you promise. and that's about doing business with people you like and trust. So anybody here, you need to check out the Better Business Bureau, because that trust is what they do. He's in, I think, 42 counties. He's always out there talking about the trust factor. Who else has a question? There you go, sir.
We'll go here, then we'll go back.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you guys for doing this. This has been wonderful. And my name is Carl Matthews, and I call myself Golf Poet 2, and I'm sharing GG&P, which is Golf, God, and Poetry. My theme is past, present, and possibilities. I'm the past, the millennials, they're the present, and the younger kids, they're the possibilities. And we need to tighten up that gap and let these people know that the possibilities are endless. Okay, you got a golf course over there, called Dogwood Trace. Started caddying over there when I was a kid. Anyway, started the first golf team at Peabody High School in 1963. And first golf professional out of Petersburg, Virginia. Worked at a golf course over in Hawaii for 20 years and 9 months. Possibilities. And I'm here trying to get a compact Class C camper van because I want to travel and share my GG&P experience with these kids, going to golf courses, churches, schools, libraries, boys and girls clubs, wherever, to let them know the possibilities. Because when you're in that golf arena, you cannot behave just any old kind of way. It's going to save a lot of these kids and keep them out of trouble. And I'm going to tell you, if I can get some of these kids to come out and hit 3 buckets of balls, they're not going to want to hit each other. Anyway, I'm done.
There you go. Now, this dude right here is, he's totally into the golf game. Really quickly, also, Al Green in the back, his father's a golfing legend. So he is, if you ever look him, Al Green, what's your father's name? Al Green. So if you, not that Al Green, no, not that love and happiness Al Green, this is the real Al Green. So, a golfing legend.
Let me, just for women and men, if you don't, pick up the game of golf if you can. It is so critical in business. Now, first of all, it is a great game to play. I'm an avid golfer to the point that Mike made. I've been playing golf 5 years. Started off, I was a 41 index. I am now a 6 index trying to get to scratch. So I love the game of golf. But what it has done for me on the business side has been absolutely amazing. I am going to Vegas, and I made this promise to one of my compadres, my homeboys, and I told him, I said, look, man, we're going to go to Vegas, and we're going the first weekend in February. And I'm playing golf Saturday morning, and I'm playing golf Sunday morning. And I said, I bet you when I get back home, within 6 months, I will have a show or speaking engagement from somebody that I play with. Because when you, and everything you need to know about a person, you learn it in golf. You can see the integrity that they have because it's a self-managed game. I can see whether you drop balls or whether you move them where you're not supposed to move them at. I can see whether you tell me the exact score that you got or if you made up something to make yourself look better. It is an integrity game, and I don't have to talk to you for those 4 hours. I can just watch you, and we don't have to talk about business. And when we're done with the game, I can tell whether I want to do business with you or not. Please pick up the game of golf. And to your point, real quick, those kids, there's a centering in golf that aligns with the sort of the when you say if you fail, you can still get stronger. Well, even in golf, if you do great, you have to get back to center. So it makes you way more balanced in your emotions and your execution than any other game I've ever played. Adrenaline don't work in golf. It might feel good for that one shot, but before you hit this next shot, you better get back to center. And please don't get in your head with the negative stuff in golf. Now, that will destroy you. So thank you for bringing that up. And, man, we need to talk. I want to help you get. We definitely need to talk. Yeah, I want to help you get that. I'm going with you.
If I can jump on it.
Yes.
Oh, wait. No, so when he said there's Micah, and I'm sorry.
I got you.
So what about those of us who don't golf, but we participate out of sponsors events and are going out into the charity?
Right.
So I'm not a golfer, but I do it on fun. And I'm honest up front and I say I don't golf.
Right.
Do you hold that against people?
So,
Connie, I think as a non-golfer, I think they do. He may not say it, but you get the look.
Will you hold that against
The
us?
only thing, if you're not an avid golfer, you want to go out and you're going to be spraying the ball all over the place, that is totally fine. As long as you're a good company, you understand when it's time to be quiet, when it's time to move around. I don't care that you spray the ball. Just be good company to be out there with.
Yeah.
Even if you got to putt it 320 yards, that's all right.
Right.
As long as you're open up front, I'll play with anybody. Honestly, I will play with anybody. Yeah.
I'll just echo that as a woman in the room. Playing golf completely changed the trajectory of my career. If you're a lady in the room and you want to play with not a great lady, come see me. We can get started together.
Right. There you go.
I love it.
Hey,
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. I'm sorry. Go. You go.
Owner, woman, entrepreneur. I'm down here. Any of you guys ever been to my market, Essential Market? Awesome. Thank you. I saw you guys in there. I appreciate you guys. We opened up in 2020.
Wow.
We were unable to receive any PPP funding because of the time that we opened. Now, when we opened, the street was blocked off because they were building artist space lofts. So we were like, oh my, this is going to be a golden opportunity because over 200 units are being built right where my convenience store is. Now, I own a convenience store, milk, eggs, butter, cheese, all types of essential oils. It encompasses over 10 different vendors from the community itself. Keep laughing, everybody still smile and joke, but we just want to talk about what's really going on down here and how we have no time for an emotional break. We don't get that time because we became infamous before we became famous for the shops and all the things that we had that were down here. So what business advice would you give businesses who had to withstand evictions and murders and the fentanyl crisis and the things that are actually going down in the community where we're playing good business and servicing the community? The bank is right across the street from us, so they understand what we're going through and what we had to go through. But as small business, how do you suggest that we hold on? I've done every form of damage control that I could possibly do after every altercation that has happened out here. We had to get some permission for city council to do some. I had bodies down on the ground painting and cleaning the blood off the stoop after things have taken place. But do people come back down here and say, hey, it's cool to shop now? No, dude, we had to wait it out for months. And now we're on the brink of closing doors, eviction, everything. So it's good that everybody's here now, that the cavalry is here now, but we're in dire straits. And what if we say it's too little too late? How can you save us? I mean, we've had CBS 6 and all types of media over here, but we're actually over here doing business. And my business is right here. I don't get a chance to go off somewhere else. It's like I live on ground. I have an artist residency here, on top of having a market in the back, in the middle of a food desert, who gets absolutely no support other than what Mr. Myers gives me. And I'm constantly begging him, and I don't beg too much.
Dig it. Wow. That's a light question.
Can I jump in? I just want to do a check-in with you, because that's a lot.
Yeah.
That affects, that's what I was talking about, the relationship between your mental wellness and what you do as a business owner. So my heart goes out to you and the community, and making sure that you know that we're here for you. Poplar Springs, we can have a one-on-one-off conversation. Don't even have to deal with hospital, but I just want to make sure you're okay, because we are under assault. Unfortunately, the social ills in this community have also impacted how we think, how we survive. We're in survival mode, but we're not thinking about our true mental health. And I just heard a lot of pain in your conversation.
For sure, we're in survival mode right now, for sure, but the lease has to be paid. And operating capital has to be funded some way, you know, and it's It's over 1,300 a month that are being evicted. So I'm working, but I'm in the community. I'm watching a hell of a turnover from tenant to business. How do we withstand this? I know it's a loaded question and it's a lot, but I'm just speaking for me, myself, for like what is going through right now. I am serving the community in every way you could imagine right now, from toothpaste to spring water to paper towels, washcloths, things that are needed. It's not a glamorous business.
I think to my brother's point, and when I said the word, it's a light question, you are evidently a light. You are a beacon amongst some dark moments. You're the one that's continuing, and you and others that work with you are continuing to try to pick the things back up and put the glass back together when it's been dropped and shattered, right? So I think to my brother's point, we do have to first make sure you are okay. Yeah, and that's before we pay a bill, that's before we try to get this business back together. Before we do all that, you need to be okay, because we need you to continue to be who you are first before the business that you own. The second part of it is communities tend to, and these, of course, these are no promises, these are no absolutes, but communities tend to continue to hold up when you're at the very brink. People like you, they tend to provide some type of resource that you might not see coming from anywhere. And I'm speaking from a very spiritual standpoint, but it's a very real standpoint as well. So the first thing I would say for you is to continue to just be who you're showing yourself to be in spite of all the other stuff. Now, outside of that, put your ear to the ground with entities like the NBL, with like People's Advantage, to figure out what opportunities might be out there that maybe we have or maybe some other of our partners might have. There are grants, little small grants. I was doing some research. The state gets so much money back every year, not because people don't qualify, people just don't apply for a lot of the grants and things that are out there because we don't know about it. They're not heavily marketed. So try to get with somebody, come see Hal, see myself, go to People's and figure out if there's something that you can get that's in alignment with some type of grant that's already out there while you're at the brink. But when something like that happens in these communities, there is going to be a time and a space where people aren't going to want to come around. But because people like you are still in the middle of it trying to rebuild, you create opportunities for people to come back. So just keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing, but then let's find out if we can get some other resources that you might have.
Yeah, I want to, Antonio's here 5 days a week, so.
Y'all can hear me better now?
Yeah.
All right, it sounds like Michael, don't it? All
right. Could you share some of the hurdles that you and other business areas in this particular area, right? Because, I mean, we've been working, or trying to get it done for about 2 years now. What are some of the hurdles that you and other businesses face when trying to access capital, whether it be grants or, micro lending or whatever the case may be? I think this is a great opportunity while we have city leadership, financial institution leadership, and all our other partners, including NBL, for you to really speak directly to some of the decision makers about the troubles you've had and the difficulties you've had with the processes.
I would say that most small businesses, especially down here, we run it ourselves. So a lot of things that are offered is to retain employees. If it's just me and maybe one other person, they're really not looking at my business plan or at my grant to say, oh, okay, we have to save this business because in turn we're saving 5 other jobs or 5 or 6 people. It's a warehouse of people. It's a whole manufacturer that we have to save. They don't look at it as, as just mom and pop. And I hate to use that word, but that's what it is. They don't look at it as the seriousness to save us. But, I mean, I've been involved with different projects. Better Block, RVA works for over 20 years now. And there's different type of grants and funding that can come through. We don't always need the kit and caboodle of, we need the whole $500,000 now. They have grants that come through where you can face a face grant, where they give the front of your building a facelift. Where I've seen Capital One come through and give you $500 to have someone come out there and take your tarnished wall to a different color. It really makes the impact if 4 or 5 businesses are able to get that grant that are on the, you know, on the same street, or like just money like $1,000 for just capital. Like I need milk, I need eggs, but yeah, you know, we sell those things and we want to make sure that they can continue to use their EBT and use their WIC, because we're down here in, you know, yeah, we're in the food desert for sure, but the apartments are based on your income. But so before someone comes through that wants to buy $25 candle, they want to use their EBT. We are in the middle of a food desert down here, right? I need inventory. I need things to actually, you know, take care of the community, you know. So it's just job difficult down here because they might not look at your business. We've only been open for 2 years, so they want, you know, a history that is like ridiculous. It's like, dude, we just opened. We can't give you that right now, but we can show you the impact. We can show you the figures. We can show you the numbers, but is it going to be enough for you to actually give us something substantial to keep us afloat? You know, so it's just difficult.
What you got, my brother?
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Kofi D.
Grab one of those mics for the recording. There you go.
Let's see.
There you go.
Yeah, it's on now. Got it right. My name is Kofi D, native of Petersburg. I'm a realtor, real estate investor. I wanted to add to her point, and I think it's something you said too, is that how do we collaborate on the resources? You have SBA, you have MBL. I mean, Petersburg has also had an enterprise zone for how many years? How utilize it? There's so many resources here in this city, and there's so many problems we had to tackle. But one of the things I know minority communities we lack, and we need to do a better job, is organization. I can have 50 different resources, but if I don't know where to go and I don't know how to use them, that is a stumbling block. So where do we get like a consortium or a group or even like a league, right? Pun on the MBL, a league of, I guess, resources, you know, like maybe a co-working space where all those resources can come together. So me as an entrepreneur, I can right-size my requirements. And that's one thing I honestly have seen in other places I live, that there are co-op places, there are business incubators. How can we get that? And I want to hear from the crowd. How can we get that in Petersburg? It doesn't have to be a set space. Maybe it's once a month. But MBL's here with Hal. I went to high school with Hal. Hal's a great guy. He's doing a great job down here. But I also have the SBA down on Wakefield, right? Where can we get them all together where we can collaborate and get those resources in the right size?
Through Hal has hosted the SBA and a number of lenders. I think we were the only lender because of prior calendar events. We were the only lender that didn't make it. But you already have it here. You have VSU, all of those names on the door, SBSD, they're here regularly. And, you know, I asked that question, it was loaded because, and that's a great follow-up question, we have to have participation too from the community. We just had reliable rides last night right at the Empowerment Center. We work on personal credit for free. We do debt consolidation if you're in high interest debt. And if you walk in or catching the trolley or you got a unicycle, however you're doing it, we're trying to get you from that to your own vehicle and reliable transportation. So if you're not able to find quality work here, then you can start to explore the surrounding counties, Richmond, etc. But we had 5 in person, 20 to register. So, you know, 25% show up out of what we registered. You know, that's not a true commitment on behalf of the consumer or the member or the person that we're trying to reach, right? So just to throw that out there, it has to be, and, you know, being here for the last few years, I understand the Petersburg community, I understand the distrust, etc. But you guys still have to come halfway and meet us at midfield. We're going to win this game. You see what I'm saying?
Can I add to that point right quick?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so the point I would like to add to that is I'm glad that I know that now so I can participate. I think everybody can. The other thing is, how do you incorporate with the city? The city's the past week or maybe even a little bit longer has had its comprehensive plan. Because I think one of the things that was mentioned by the moderator is how do we tie in social problems to entrepreneurship? Well, maybe, I don't know, and I'm just throwing this out there, how do we tie in with the city on the comprehensive plan where, hey, the city wants Petersburg to look a certain way. Well, entrepreneurship and innovation builds that. Public can only do so much, but private entrepreneurship can do a lot.
So to answer that question, how do you tie it to the city? We're in the 4th district, I believe. We have Councilman Myers here, a street business person, and someone that supports the small business ecosystem every day. Albert Myers shows up to the Empowerment Center, to the businesses. So you have to engage with him and the other leadership. You know, the mayor was just here. I see them everywhere that I go. I think they work for People's Advantage sometimes, right? So but they're accessible. You can talk to them. So I don't think anybody in here can answer those questions except for city leadership, and you have to take the time to communicate with them when you can.
Really quick, to be, I guess, clear on time, we're going to keep the questions and the answers short. That way, because a number of people want to speak. So if we could we have a few more questions, and we're going to be able to wrap up in just a few minutes. Tanya.
My name's Tanya Battle. I'm also on the board of directors for the Metropolitan Business League, and I was part of the original group who actually brought the idea to the table to have this center here in Petersburg. I'm originally from New York, but moved to Petersburg in 1989. So I attended Petersburg High School and attended Richard Bland. So I have a large affinity in my heart for Petersburg. Everything that Antonio said is true. That is the reason why MBL is here. And they've made great strides in less than 2 years in connecting the city, connecting the university, and working with the business owners. So we really need you all to spread the word. We really need you all to be here when they're hosting events. Come out and be a part of it. There's so much information that is out there. You will find the connections that are being made that are here to help you.
Thank you.
Very quickly, so we're going to talk to Michelle here. She's from Elijah's Purpose. When we talk about, there's a lot of hard things that are going on out there, and then there's some success stories as well. So, Michelle, go ahead.
Yes, Michelle with Elijah's Purpose. I have 2 questions and a comment. My first question was, a part of the initiative, is there any funding or grants coming available for nonprofits?
1 second, 30-second elevator pitch. Tell people who you are, what your nonprofit is.
Elijah's Purpose, founded in 2020. We help families who experience pregnancy or infant loss. We cover the cost for the funeral for them if they don't have the funding, if they lose a child within the first year of life. We also provide grief counseling, and we do pregnancy support, so we give out Pampers, wipes, any household items that families may need, and we service the Tri-City, Richmond, Chesterfield area.
There you go.
They're awesome.
Thank you.
They are awesome.
No, sorry, I forgot your question now.
Okay, my first part of the initiative, is there any grants or funding coming available for nonprofits?
So the grants that we're giving away are for nonprofit and for-profit businesses.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And
So you want to go online, see us after this, so we can make sure the grant application period ends next week, the last day of the month. So you have a week to get your application in.
Okay, my second question is for Poplar Springs. Do they have anything available for like grief counseling?
Yes, we do. So again, we have our day hospital programs and evening hospitals programming. And what we do in those programs, we do offer grief support, grief counseling. It's not a support group per se, but it goes into all the things that people deal with when they lose a loved one or trauma. Right now, our whole programming is about trauma-informed care, because trauma is strangling all of us. And people don't even realize the trauma inside their minds and brains, and it does affect your behavior and how you walk. So we kind of unravel that and then help you come up with some effective ways to manage it. So I'm going to say a yes to that, and definitely check us out.
Okay, my last thing is a comment for Miss, I forgot your name, sorry. Tazwell. Okay, we have resources available too, because we have partnerships with Amazon, and we get new items, and some of the items we don't use. So when we get things, we can give you cleaning products. As you said something about supplies, so you could just let us know, because sometimes nonprofits, we get items and we try to get more funding, but we always have extra items that we don't necessarily need, so we can give that to different businesses. And so maybe like the MDL can come up with like some kind of like, I don't know, something so we can put out there if you need something that we're not going to use because we, like our families don't need, we can give it to you. Everything's new, and we're going to give it to you in good condition too. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
See what just happened there?
That's what I'm talking about. That's magic. That's why she wins awards for her nonprofit out there. Real quickly, Sam Anderson.
All right.
Man, I should have went after these guys. We were talking about books and kids and golf. Now I'm coming after the heavy stuff. Sam Anderson, I'm a serial entrepreneur in the Richmond area. Own and operate Enzo Media Firm. We're a full-service media production house. We've done some work for People's Advantage Credit Union. Also have a separate brand, Mrpreneur, do a lot of public speaking and entrepreneur coaching. Part owner of Synapse organization. Just recently started Warren Investment Firm, which I'm closing on my first investment property here in Petersburg.
Awesome.
I put the word in my boy's ear here years ago, and he's got like 6 properties here now, and I'm just getting my first, so I'm a little late to the game. Yeah. And then my most recent business, I just started Legacy Vending Machines. So we're providing vending machines that are giving a 10% kickback to a sponsored nonprofit. So it's creating a source of revenue for those nonprofits. So my question to you, and number one, I want to say, let's definitely connect. I want to see if there are any ways I can help you. And girl, you about to walk out here tinting everybody's window. Like,
I know,
I love
right?
what you got. As a service-based business, I want to invest in Petersburg. So I'm coming here on the property side. But as a service-based business, sometimes that can be difficult coming into certain economic communities. Mm-hmm. What is it? There's always been this buzz. You know, we heard that the casino may potentially be coming here to Petersburg, which I got really excited about. You want to invest in things before that curve hits. Like you want Tesla stock when Tesla's $5 a share and not $1,200 a share. What is it that we can do, or opportunities that are coming? I've seen Dotson's Property Management recently moved to Petersburg. Yeah. Where do you guys think we're at on the cusp of Petersburg? Because it's been so long of like, it's coming. And I don't want to miss the curve. I want to be here and provide the services I can, but at the same time, the business has to be here for me to bring my company here.
Ms. Williamson, would you mind tagging in on Joanne, right? Okay, would you mind speaking from the tourism aspect about the opportunities that are going to be developed here in Petersburg and what some things that are coming this way?
Well, one of the big developments right now is a pharmaceutical cluster. Yep. I'm going to give you an example that we visited Civica a couple of weeks ago. They'll be opening this year. They will go into full production next year. But he was telling me, the manager was saying, we need a local printer to print our labels. So right now I'm looking for someone who can buy that printer, and they're going to be printing 90 million labels a year. And they will go into a long-term contract with a local provider. So I see a big opportunity with the pharmaceutical industries right now because they're using a lot of local contractors. So it's really developing the economy, and they're only going to grow. For tourism, can't talk too much about the casino now. I mean, you know, we certainly hope that we will get the casino. The casino is much more than a casino.
Right.
It's a city within a city. It's an economic development opportunity. So, you know, we can't say too much. We've got a long road to go on that, and hopefully it will come here. But it will provide a lot of opportunities for tourism if it does come here. But right now, the pharmaceutical cluster is here. 3 companies, Ampac, Civica, and Flow. You can go online. They've got jobs right now. They will actually, you can come out of high school and make a commitment, and they will pay for you to go to college. Wow. So a lot of opportunities there, and I would highly recommend that everyone go online and become connected with the pharmaceutical companies.
Well, it sounds like I'm about to go online and buy
Exactly.
a printer.
There you go. One last question. Barry Moore in the back with the Better Business Bureau.
Thank you, Ms. Joanne.
So I've been in BBB now for 1 year. I will tell you, here, thank you. What I'm saying, I am from New Jersey, like you are from New York, and some of you are not from here. This is, so you know, don't take it personally, the most stubborn area in the country. I've lived around. You got to hear, you got to listen a lot better. I understand your community. I watch it on the local TV stations every night. Almost they would make me in fear to come here, right, if I listened to them. So you got to change the narrative on the media. We have to get them to be better partners. They've got to know the stories going on with little businesses. Micah, you and I with Y101, when Sludge was in town, he used to play at Alibi. I used to come down here with a group of people, sponsored it in 2010, maybe. We brought a lot of people in from outside. My point is, your answers are not going to come from just a small town. I grew up in Cranberry, New Jersey. I didn't grow up as a city slicker. I grew up in the country, 2,500 people, Revolutionary War. And we had to attract people from New Brunswick or Trenton or whatever if we wanted to survive. We saw businesses come in and go out. People lose a lot of money. My wife and I just lost we didn't lose it, but we sold it at a loss, a franchise, after 2 years. We knew the time was to get out. We have to know, you have to have a business plan. You got to know your demographics. You got to know where you're going. When I call my businesses, I got thousands of business owners that are accredited. They don't listen. They don't pick up the phone. They know everything. They have gatekeepers. If you're an entrepreneur, you have one employee, how do you not take a call? You might not know where your next customer is coming from. Right. Open your ears, and it's not personal. Just don't take this personally. This has happened in Richmond in a 50-mile radius. Have a business plan, review it. Mike King was at my place last week. It was about women in power and all that. And I try to explain to people, stop narrowing it down just to women in power. I had women walking out, I got to hang out with more women and be empowered. No, you need the men too. And you need white and black. And you need everybody needs everybody. Stop being divisive and caught up in that and open your mind. The churches down here, I know you're all working in so many ways. Crime is crime. I mean, it's America right now. It's a world. And the tragedies you're talking about with your store and your location, God, I mean, I pray for you. I mean, and prayer is going to be the way out. You're emotional. I think you bring a great point up. Are you ready to handle every day? And if not, get some help. And just talk to the right people. Don't get people to always acknowledge that you're right. You want to hear the no, you're not right. No, you're doing the wrong thing. No, you're overspending in this area. No, there's no such thing as a free lunch. No, a loan and a grant's not going to save your day. Because at some point, I kept taking money out of my checking account or my savings account, and guess what? I'm out. And I finally got rid of the company because I realized, what am I doing, right? But it hurt. I mean, it was my ego. I mean, it's massive. And you think you're so far in, and I'm not saying you ever throw in the towel. You don't throw in the towel. You reevaluate, you get people to help you. I call on these business owners every single day, and the stubbornness and the unwillingness to listen, and then it's refreshing. You get to a group like this, you guys are looking for answers. You're looking for help. You got them right up there, and the 4 people across, and this whole room is full of resources, and there are so many great things, but don't get down on it. Just keep working it. Have a plan. Attract, satisfy, retain the best employees, and then attract, satisfy, and retain the best business, the consumer. And go to Colonial Heights, go to Chesterfield County, go to, I don't know all the towns, Brunswick County, as I know with you guys. Go to other areas and do business and get them to come here. There's so many things. Get them to the Tractor Museum. Get them to all these different things that are going on right here. You got so much potential. Crime is going to be your downfall, so you got to get the media. And these guys can help you. I can help you. Media will listen. They just got to listen. If it bleeds, it leads, as they say, and they love some of these stories. But you know what? The consumer, the viewer hates this stuff. The TV stations just don't listen because they have focus groups that say, this is what you got to do. That's not what we want to hear. We want to hear great stories.
Good enough. Thank you, Barry. As we're wrapping up right here. So really quickly, Chris, how can people find you out there?
100 yards that way. No, our financial empowerment center is at 100 Perry Street, and our headquarters is at 110 Wagner Road. And we also have a branch in Colonial Heights, and we also now have a branch in Petersburg, or in Richmond, in a truck. So come check us out. It's www.peoplesadvfcu.org, and all of our stuff is on the table.
There you go. Ken?
Yes, so again, everybody know we're Poplar Springs Hospital. We're in Petersburg. And you can dial a website. We also have a 1-800 number. Don't know that 1-800 number off the top of my head, but if you go to the website, we'll be able to support you. We do have counselors 24 hours a day to answer any questions about what we do, who we are, so please activate our resources.
Very quickly, all right, Micah?
Michael White, of course, you can find me here at the MBL. I do have some cards on me if you'd like to get my information to connect a little later. Also a resource I do want to point out as it pertains to the MBL. We have Shelby, who's our director of marketing.
Shelby Brown is in the house.
If you want to get your story out there and your story in such a way that empowers, encourages people, and makes people want to connect with you, see Shelby. She knows how to get a story out.
She does know how to get a story.
Yes, CBS 6 is where she's famously known. But NBL, we done took her up under our wing, and she's done an incredible job for our members, so please see her. And then if you're in this area, see Councilman Myers. Councilman Myers, raise your hand if you don't mind. This particular area, this particular space that we are sitting in, he is one of the greatest catalysts for why we are here and why we're continuing to build this particular area where we are. So if you got something that you need to know, you heard my sister say she done been able to lean on him. Now, I'm not asking everybody to go jump on his back to get some money or get those things, but he is a great connect. And what I love about the government down here in Petersburg is they are accessible. You can actually go up, talk to them, shake their hands, and have a real conversation with them. So take advantage of that. Respectfully, take advantage of that. And that's it.
Alrighty, so as I said, my name is Mike King. Like they say, I come from a long line of preachers. As they say, I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out some people here. So in the back, we got my man, DB Arcade. Anybody ever needs video shot? Emmanuel from DB Arcade. We got Al Green on the sound system. So those are people who rock with me. Also, if you need to get your story out, Shelby Brown is excellent. Miss B right here is a media personality. She knows everybody. She is there to be able to help you out. Tanya's a real estate agent in the back, as well as G. So we got local artists. Councilman, I got to talk to you because your name came up with G. So she's a local artist. The community here is buzzing, and I'm just happy to be down here with you guys. We'd like to thank MBL for having us. This facility, man.
This is good.
Yes, it
this
is.
is good. And I have to point out one thing. Chris, you are my hero. You have a calculator watch on. Do y'all remember the old school calculator? That is the first Apple Watch. I had to shout that out. I just got excited when I saw your calculator watch. I was like, that's a banker right there. That's what I'm talking about.
That's not a typical banker. She's always let us know. When I kept looking at the watch because I'm down with the watches. I looked at that. I'm like,
man.
All right, we'd like to thank you. So you can follow my program on the Mike with Mike, RVA. It is the best business radio program around, 5 to 7 a.m. on ESPN Richmond, also on The Choice, which is gospel radio. So we try and highlight business, doing business right, making the community better. We'd like to thank all the folks up here. As they say, we got to go. Here we go. Thank you for coming out.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
MIKEKINGBIZ, the premier business media brand covering and connecting Central Virginia. It's home to MIKEKINGBIZ Radio, producer of On the Mic with Mike RVA, which airs on ESPN Richmond 106.1 FM, The Choice 105.3 FM, and worldwide on IBGR.network. Follow MIKEKINGBIZ for the best business-ish content in RVA.
At Janet King, we get it. You need a reliable cleaning partner you can trust. With Jenny King, you're partnering with local business owners backed by over 55 years of expertise. Call or visit jennyking.com today.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage is MIKEKINGBIZ, the voice of RVA business media. At MIKEKINGBIZ, we celebrate the idea that business makes society better.